standing right in the middle of Radio City at the Jay-Z concert, like, now who the fuck?
Nah, but these people, they usually like on Snapchat or they on their stories, you know, rapping along to probably an ill song, and they playing the uncut version. I'm just like, let's see, it's just gonna take it there. And more. I haven't seen it yet. Let's just say that I haven't seen it yet. But I just always wonder, like, when the cameras is off, do people actually say it? I've always wondered.
Come on, I've been at clubs and have heard it. Like,
I've seen people.
I've been at predominantly white clubs, and I would hear a song come on. I'd be like, okay, there's not enough black people in here for me to hear nigga as loud as I just did.
I've seen, actually, just the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with him. A comedian by the name of Nori Davis. He was in the studio with Bevy, and he was throwing it around like regular talk, you know, and outside talk, black people talk, and I had to like glance over like at the producer Andrea, just because I know that her level of like comfortability is not normal with that word. Yeah. So for certain people, they do get away. They feel okay with it, and then other people, and I think that those are the douchey people. Like, you've ever been like some frat guys, like they're okay with saying it because they think they're so in touch with rap and hip hop because they have that one black friend that's just like, right. You know, Tyrone lets me say it. It's I'm such Tyrone. A J. Cole fan. Like, yeah, this is all I've listened to. You know, it's just a word, bro. It's just a word, bro. You know, and they think they're so in the culture like that, but then you have the other people who are just like subconsciously like, nah, I'm not gonna. I enjoy the white people that act like the word doesn't even exist. What you mean? Like, when they hear it, I like for them to be as surprised as like, oh my god, like, who's using that? Like, I want you to act like you've never heard this shit in your life. All right, sorry, unless you're in a room full of black people, then you just shut the fuck up and keep up with the conversation. It's something I always wondered. But I just like to look and see. I definitely look around and see, you know, at a concert, if they're going to say it. They going to say it? Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable because it'd be like, damn, I can't cuss all those people out at MetLife Stadium. It does make some people uncomfortable, though, 100%. Oh, yeah. But the only people I care about when they get uncomfortable with it is older black people. Why? Because I feel like those are the only people that their word has truly affected in that type of meaning. So, like, if you're a black person over the age of, like, I mean, honestly, any age, to be quite honest, but especially if you're over the age of, like, let's say 65 or 70, and you tell me, like, oh, don't use nigga around me, out of pure respect of you being an older black person, someone that was probably alive during, like, Jim Crow South, and, like, you know, probably had a parent that was like a sharecropper or something, like, I could totally get how that word would trigger you in that way. So for that, I will not use it around you. But if you are not black and you were trying to tell me that I can't say it, that's a dub. Right. Because I also feel the same way about the F word. Like, when I'm at gay functions and, like, the people be like, oh, that faggot, I'd be like, woo. Like, now that's a word that's still a lot for me. Like, faggot has not been normalized, and I'd be like, okay, like, that's a lot. But again, if I'm in a room full of, like, 25 other gay people. When you hear the word faggot, how is it used? Because I never hear it. Oh, it's slur for gay people. I know. No, how do you, all right, I understand that. But I use no, okay. I know what the meaning is. But when I hear it, I always hear it in the context of, like, somebody trying to devalue a straight man, heterosexual man. Oh yeah, well, because you know, masculinity is so fragile. So that most of the times when I hear people, sorry to cut you off, when I hear it, when they usually saying it at a straight guy, not to kind of call out like, oh, to trying to scrutinize a gay person as like, yo, you faggot, sorry to say that, but they usually saying it to kind of say, yo, like a pussy. But that's the whole point, though. Yeah, because that automatically means that, you know, gay people are synonymous with being punk. Like, even in but I never hear it going at a gay person. Like, it's not as common as the M word. I know some gay niggas will fuck you up. Oh, though. Absolutely, yeah. Like, did you watch Gay White People? I use both of those words together. What? No, I said gay people, not faggot people. Faggot niggas. You didn't say faggot niggas, which would be a lot. Yeah, you didn't say that. That would have been a lot. Thankfully, you didn't say that. Oh, thank God. Did you watch Dear White People already? Nah, I didn't finish. Okay. I started a little bit, but I fell asleep, though. Did you get like two episodes in? Okay, never mind. Cut it on and it was over. There was a scene in Dear White People where like it was actually Pride weekend, and they went to, where did they go? Oh, they went to like, you know, like a house party or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, I think it was because I think black people definitely wrote it, but they wrote it with the intention of like, you know, like, oh, like, hey, faggot, or like, and then the two black characters looked at each other and they were like, it's our N-word. And I was like, it low-key is, or high-key is. Like, I did see that clip. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, if you want to take that word and run with it, like, you know, do your thing. But I would never be at like a gay function and tell another gay person, like, you can't use that word. I'm like, how do you feel about gays using that word against each other? I don't know. It's a lot for me. Oh, there's another word that they use too. Gay people say cunt a lot, but cunt is more so. Cunt actually, look at me giving y'all like a fucking lingo test. But cunt runs more along the thought of bitch.
Well, no, there's two types of cunts. There's the obvious cunt that, like, you know, is like a woman's body part, like the cunt. So like when somebody says like you're a cunt, it's like, you know, first of all, white women hate the word cunt. Like I've seen white people spaz out to cunt like black people have to the N word. Like,
are these words all worse than bitch? Because I like that word. I just like it.
You are high.
Fucking bitch.
Bitch is also they're all bad. I think.
But I learned what you can't get wrong with motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker's neutral as hell. It's my favorite. It's the most neutral, but it still get that ass together.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, but I think
look at this motherfucker.
I think
this motherfucker crazy.
I think cunt is worse if you ask most women because you'll hear other what?
Don't worry about the motherfucker.
Shut up. Listen to the fuck I'm saying. You'll hear other women call each other. You listen to other women call other women bitches, even in a playful way, but nobody ever says you're a cunt in a playful manner. At least not that I've ever heard.
Right.
But back to the earlier point I was making, that when you say bitch, you're a cunt. Wow, you're really high. When you say cunt, look at you. When you say cunt to like you're a cunt, that's offensive. But if I said like, "Ooh, your hat is cunt," that means your hat is very nice. Okay, you know what? I'm done. Anyway, moving on. So this brings me to a greater point. Speaking of words and slurs and terms, so I was on Instagram the other day. And the Breakfast Club account posted this conversation between Envy and his wife. So were they talking about dickhead and pussy? No, but close to it.
She called him a bitch, or he called her a bitch?
He called her a bitch. So this is a little text thread. Let me. Okay, hold on, because now you're stepping on my toes. So
I'm on your heels today.
Shit. So there's this conversation that DJ Envy posted. It's between him and his wife. So his wife texts him. She says, "Baby, there's an emergency." He says, "What? Are you okay?" She says, "We're running low on yogurt fruit snacks." He says, "Don't scare me, bitch. Already ordered." She says, "The crying emojis." He says, "Got them today." Now,
that was a text conversation?
Yes.
I even think just based on, she didn't get offended. Like,
she didn't, but I'm curious at how they got to this point of their relationship, because I'm pretty sure the first time he called her a bitch, it was not playful.
You think so? I don't think so. She seemed like
I feel like the first time, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was playful. So like I feel like the first time not playful, probably playful from him, but not playful from her.
Oh, so I'm gonna say
yeah. So I think like the first time it went down, like I'm pretty sure she was not like crying emoji. Just because like I feel like if I was in an interracial relationship, ideally dating a white person, and all of a sudden he just started calling me nigga, that would never fly.
They've been together so long since like high school. It would be hard to even imagine how they got to that point. God bless them, and I'm pretty sure that they're at a real space where they really know each other.
Okay, well, it's not about them anymore. I'm talking about the bigger conversation. You about to get into it, like,
because you know what, that family you can't say nothing about. So we're having an opinion, and they already put it out there. It's just like you put it out here, but we can't.
You saying their family we can have an opinion about?
Before
that's the fuck we can.
My thing is,
but I feel like
can you talk to your significant other like that?
If I was dating a white person, well, okay, that's
not gonna happen.
Yes,
I really came to that conclusion.
It's not gonna happen.
I was like, I cannot be with the white person. It's not gonna happen.
But the point that I was making was, if I was white, or if I was white and I was with a black person, I would never be comfortable calling them nigga. Ever. Like, I feel like if two lesbians to get together, like, they can call each other bitch because that's fair playing ground. Two black people can call each other nigga because that's fair playing ground. But I don't know. I feel like, bitch is still problematic, so whatever. But my whole point is, I feel like I would never, ever get to a point where I'd be laying in bed with a white person and they'd be like, yeah, nigga, that was good. What? No.
Who talks like that?
Heads. All right, nigga. First of all, I don't work for Cinemax like the rest of y'all skank ass hoes.
But do you? I don't say shit at them. But anyway, my point is that like I don't use that context in the house of like, yo, like,
you took that whole fucking watermelon and picked off one seed. You found one seed in that fucking watermelon. It was like, okay, so here's my problem with this. It's not about how the fuck people talk after sex. Damn it.
Oh man. It's weird. Like, people, that's why I just learned, you know what? Just Kevin Gates post, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but there's certain things that, you don't post based on for your relationship to hold it down because that's sacred to y'all. It's just cool for, if you and somebody else do something, keep it to your fucking self.
Keep it to yourself.
Like, I hate relationship goals, and then people were like, oh, they were so cute. Like, they regular.
Yeah.
They gonna break up.
That's what happens when you. That's why I never.
I don't want to be like no relationship.
I don't like putting weight on anybody else.
I want my own shit. I don't want to be different. Yeah. We do different shit.
Y'all not gonna know what the fuck I'm doing. Y'all know what the fuck I'm doing now. How about that? It's just like, no.
And that's what, like, you see, now we're having this conversation, and that just might be the thing. That may be helping them work out how they live.
Him calling her a bitch?
Like, talking reckless. I don't know what she does to him, but if it's an equal avenue street, if it works for them, it works.
Yeah, I mean, listen, because again, like,
I'm pretty sure she does some shit to him, too. Or, like, probably calls him out of character a little bit, too.
But what do you call a man? Like...
Bitch?
Okay, yeah, but I mean, that's like, I guess, all right. I guess that works. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there would never be that comfortability in my house. But then again, maybe. But then again, it also you have to factor in. Well, no, that's okay. It's not my house. But you also have to factor in.
It's not your house.
How Gia Casey feels about bitch, because there are plenty of black people that are with white people and do not mind if their white lover calls them nigga, especially in like some kinky like type, you know, choke me up and make me your slave type shit. It's wild out here. I'm gonna write a book one day because I've been through it.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
Nigga. What I want to talk about, I had this thing on my mind.
You are really high.
I'm all over the place. You would want to start the show without being prepped. How do you feel about wrestling? I have this weird thing about wrestling.
Like WWE?
Yeah, pro wrestling.
I think it's entertaining. I think the producer in me enjoys the storylines and the way they pull things together.
Do you not feel left out a little bit of it?
Left out?
Yeah.
In what sense?
So let me break this down. There's a part of me was like, I was thinking the other day, and I jotted this down. This is why this may seem weird as how I introduced it, but I was just thinking, I was like, there's a bunch of people that actually follow this shit, and it's like a sport. But there was a time in my life where I had to pick and choose if I wanted to be a fucking kid or be like a teenager, or like, you know, going into teenage years to like, yo, put your toys away, stop playing the bullshit, and actually, you know, go outside and be like grown up, you know, do other shit. You know what I mean?
You didn't have to choose that.
But
society made you feel like you had to choose.
Like, I feel like I chose.
You got to the point where you started saying wrestling's not cool no more, and now it's fake. This shit is whack. And
I missed a whole like several decades.
I mean, you want them to stop for you? You just want them to just go on pause till you come back?
Maybe this is like maybe I'm just kind of a therapy moment where I'm just like letting people know I'm not gonna stand this. This is my watch telling. But yeah, that's so crazy.
I mean, but
do you understand what I'm saying?
No, because that's the same thing with anything. Like, you stopped watching Nickelodeon like 20 years ago. Or not 20 years ago, like 10 years ago.
But there's a group.
But you never go back and look at Nickelodeon and be like, how come they putting out Zoe 101? I don't know who the fuck that is.
There's a group, there's an audience of like, even like comic books. I remember like, I used to collect comic books. And I didn't know people continued to collect them. It's just interesting to me.
Somebody made you grow up prematurely is what you're saying.
I'm not saying anybody made me grow up prematurely, but it was a thing where it's like, I thought that maybe I was wrong, but it was just that, you know, at a certain age, people did other things, and I just found it. Also knew that for the last like maybe 5 to 6 years, I've noticed that more and more people are still interested in wrestling. And
wrestling has a huge following.
But I thought, and that's what I'm saying, it was a time where I thought that was like childlike, you know, also to kind of, or maybe I just didn't have time to sit down and watch wrestling because there was so much other things going on.
So here's what I think about it. So I think wrestling is very different from the WWE, and I'll explain this. I feel like wrestling.
Or maybe we should talk about you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so technically wrestling is literally just the act of wrestling. So if you remember like AC Slater on Saved by the Bell, like he was just a wrestler,
just
like,
grappling and just fighting on the
It wasn't no storyline. You know, he wasn't coming out with explosives and fucking cheerleaders from the Dallas Cowboys behind him. Like, the nigga just came on the mat, he fought for like 7 minutes, and then the fight was over. But the thing about wrestling is two things. A, is very much like a soap opera, where no matter at what point you jump into wrestling, you can, even if you haven't watched it, even in 10 years, if you turn on wrestling right now, you would know somebody that's wrestling. Even if you don't know them, they're like this person's brother, or like the son of this person, or like they were in like a tag team stable with like this. Like, it's so weird how like the storylines run so deep, which is why sometimes, I mean, I don't watch it often because I'm like, I don't have the patience, honestly.
So often as if you watched it within the last few years.
I probably watch wrestling like twice a year. Like, it's just like a random Monday night Raw might be on, and I'll stop in. And again, what is wrong with you? But again, I've always had this like weird producer mindset, so I've always enjoyed the storylines on. It's funny, I was thinking about this the other day, but I've always enjoyed the storylines on wrestling way more than the actual fighting. Like, at what point were you watching wrestling? Like, when did you stop watching? I think is a better question.
That's a good question. Right before